Uh,
Hello.
Hello. Is everything blur? I don't know if this is my if my video is okay or not.
It's
Is it
okay.
too blur?
No, but it's a new setup, is what I noticed.
Yes. Yes, I'm at my girlfriend's house. That's why. It's a completely
Okay.
new setup.
Yeah, it
And it has one of those like, the what do you call those? The screens that come with a webcam. So it's that's why it looks like very profesh.
oh,
Yeah, let me undo my blur. Hello.
pretty.
Yeah, that's the TV, that's the couch, it's the aloe vera plant, lights, kitchen stuff.
The lights shaped in, like, it doesn't make something?
It just makes an arch. It's
Oh,
pretty boring. Okay, hi. How are you doing? How's it going?
I've been good. How have you been?
I have been okay. I've been okay. I have come with a topic to talk about.
Okay. For
Yeah.
the first time, probably, we've come with a topic.
Yeah, for the first time, I have come prepared, and only this is also only because I have a hyper fixation currently, and it's pretty much all I think about a lot of the time. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let's just talk about it on the podcast as well, because what else are we going to do, right?
Okay.
If not talk about our hyper fixations.
You
Okay,
built
cool.
it up too much. Now you have to just say what it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, so my current hyper fixation is F1. Okay, Formula One, motorsport racing. And I want to just gush about it a little bit. Okay. I mean, have you seen Drive to Survive? Did you ever like follow F? Do you have like an F1 phase? Like pretty much everyone who watches Drive to Survive.
I didn't have a F1 phase. I just know
Hmm.
that one of the guys came to Netherlands about a year back for King's Day, broke his nose, and then won something. I think that guy was
Oh
Norris.
yeah, correct. I think it was it Lando? Yeah, I think it was Lando Norris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he came la exactly a year back because King's Day happens in April, so he was there
Right.
in April and he
Right.
broke his nose on the boat somehow. I don't know because there were before pictures and there were after
Yes,
pictures.
he was partying it up. I think that's why something happened.
And then
Yeah.
he went like after a day, and then there was a thing, and he won. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's all I.
Yeah, I know. There was an episode on this on the previous Drive to Survive season as well where they show Lando as this party going, like, wild boy who goes out there and parties and then comes for a race. And then he won the race.
Yeah,
So, like,
I would
so
be so annoyed.
let
Like
him party, I guess.
if I was competing with him, I would be super annoyed. Because if
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
I
Like,
would be just training, and then he would just come
yes,
after partying and then win and go.
yes. He's legit one of those kids where, like, dude, you work so hard and prepare for everything, and this kid just walks in and demolishes you. He's one of those.
Yeah, so that's the only context I have. That too, because like he
Hmm.
was there close to where I was, and it was
Hmm.
all over the news there. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
it. That's all the context I have.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll talk about F1. And the thing is, I also got into F1 due to this whole Drive to Survive phenomenon that happened. Like 2, 3 years ago, this was back when I was in Pittsburgh and when I was doing my master's. I guess I just had some time during summer, so I was watching Drive to Survive. And I got hooked on to F1. So I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool sport. So I started following it a bit for that season for a few months, but it didn't last that long. It was, one of those hyperfixations where like you started, but then you give up on it in between.
You have to give context on what Drive to Survive is because I have no idea.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I assumed you knew. Okay, so Drive to Survive is a Netflix show.
Okay.
Okay, and it's a documentary style Netflix show.
Okay.
Drive to Survive, I think the first season may have come out in 2018 or something. Okay, so the history is F1, Formula One sport. It has existed for a long time. Okay.
Yes.
And in 2017, there was an American company called Liberty Media, which bought F1 for like $4 or $5 billion or something. and they wanted to increase, put more eyeballs on the sport. They wanted to do more marketing because F1 severely lacked it. They never did a lot of digital marketing and never really did a lot of. They did a bunch of press, but like there was a huge chunk of audience in the world that didn't really care about F1. And motorsporting is already pretty big in the US. So it was definitely like, why isn't this as big as it's supposed to be? F1. Then they made a documentary style series called Drive to Survive, where they really like amp up the drama of what's going on, and they went behind the scenes of the sport, not just about racing, but the drivers, the kind of like politics that go on between teams. Who are these drivers? Where do they come from? What kind of drama that they have? Because there's a lot of drama in the sport. There's actually a lot of drama. So Drive to Survive came out season one and it went viral. People loved it. Like so many people didn't know that a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes happens this way. And it was a really interesting take. And it was a very well made documentary. They really showed the drama of races very well. It had good sound effects, good editing, and all of this. So Drive to Survive became huge, and Formula One exploded. Like there was a huge new set of people who were watching Formula One just because of Drive to Survive. And I know so many people in my circles only in like 2018, 2019 were like, bro, I'm watching F1 now because of Drive to Survive. So it became like a phenomenon every year when DTS came out. And then in 2021, like it was like an infamous season where like it was filled with a lot of drama and it was a really fun season. So it again season three or something, it became even more viral. And then I watched the next season and I caught up. So that's what Drive to Survive is basically. It's like it's what made the sport like really popular. It blew up now. Like now, if you see F1 is everywhere, it's because of Netflix and that documentary. After they got acquired by this American company. Say what you will about the Americans, they do marketing so well. It's really, really good. So yeah, all of this happened. This is about Drive to Survive. Now we'll come to F1. So Drive to Survive happened, and then okay, I that is the Drive to Survive context. When I watched F1, I told you I had like a small hyperfixation phase. I didn't really follow it as much. But then now the new season has started. I've been following it very intensely for the past few months. Like I am in the weeds of like what's going on in the sport and what goes on behind the scenes and all of this. I'm just like paying a little more attention. Dude, it is a fascinating sport. It is amazing. Like when you think about what it actually is. Like racing as a concept, I never really like got it. Like motor racing and like car racing. What is this, bro? Formula One? Why are they're just driving around a track? Like what is going on here? But being in it now, there is so much more. I used to think that like, bro, it's just like an adrenaline junkie sport. Bunch of drivers are out here, rash drivers. They just want to go fast, and they're risky, and there are teams that want to do it. Which it is. It's not like it's not. It is also that, but there are also a lot of other things that happen in the sport, which is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of technology and innovation in the sport. There's a lot of entrepreneurship in the sport. There's a lot of passion in the sport. High stakes, high rewards. It has all of it. And when looking at it from that angle and a lot of what goes on behind the scenes in developing these cars, the amount of technology and like engineering and research that these people do is actually crazy. And it's always been like this. It's not like this is new because it's motorsport and it's racing. It's all about peak performance. So throughout history, the sport has always been about inventing something new, innovating something new, or breaking like grounds or bending the rules, all of these things, right? It's always been at the edge of like you have to be great, but you have to be great in engineering as well as like racecraft as well as racing. It's two things at the same time. So there has been a lot of inventions in cars in modern day that we see that we don't know that have all come from F1. So many things. The car wiper was apparently invented because of a race. It never existed. There's another race, not a Formula One, but another more car racing thing called Le Mans that happens in Paris. And it's a race that happens for 24 hours. They race in a car straight for 24 hours. And during that time, it was raining, and they had to figure out a way that these drivers could see the road. And they invented the wiper, car wiper was invented for a race. And then it was implemented in all other cars, I think. So all these things keep happening. And then now I have slowly found out that, like, there's so much history linked to this one particular sport. And it's so much like innovation and engineering in one particular field, right? It was just a fascinating side of the sport that I didn't think about when I was watching Drive to Survive. But being involved in it a bit more and knowing about its history and about racing in general now, it is about adrenaline junkies going fast as well. But it's also about all these other things. It's damn nice. Hence, this is my current hyperfixation. So it's pretty good. I had a very nice time with it. So far, it's been really good.
I I'm so glad you told me about it because I should have known about it because 2018 I was writing a research paper on Netflix. Like the topic was sort of related to Netflix and how like
Hmm.
the viewing experience has changed. And I
Hmm.
completely, maybe it wasn't in my horizon, so I didn't read about it as much, and I should have. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
in one night makes sense. I always knew F1 had a lot of money in it because
Hmm.
you know, if India gets interested in it and UAE is interested in it, the sport has enough money
Yeah.
if they are
Yes.
interested
Yes.
in it.
There's a lot of money. Hmm.
I also like things I know about F1 is that I know that a lot of people, even in Europe, used to watch it, and a lot of girls used to watch it because there were a lot of cute guys as well in the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of cute guys.
Yeah. And then while you were saying all of this, the only thing I could remember as a kid, I think the only like few movies I watched about car racing was Tara Rampam. I don't know if you heard of that movie.
I've seen Tara, dude. I have seen Tara Ramam so many times.
I've only seen
I'm
it
telling,
once. It was too traumatic to see it
dude,
as
it was too traumatic. When I was a kid, the first time I saw Tara Rampam, and when that accident happens, bro, I was shit scared. I was like, oh my God.
I
I've
don't
never seen something like this on screen before.
I don't think I was scared about the accident. It was about them getting poor and not
Oh,
having
yes, that's true. Dude, the poor thing fucked me up too. The
yeah.
poor thing, and when they had to go to a hospital, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with her or what she did that got the little kid into the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was shit scared. I'm like, bro, what did she do? What?
It was
I
one
need to know so that I don't do it.
and it was one traumatic thing after another. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
and then there was Herbie, of course, like
Yes, of course. Herbie, yes. I
yes,
loved Herbie.
and Cars, obviously.
Cars, of course.
And
Yes.
there was this show called One Tree Hill, which at one
Hmm.
point one of the characters goes into like car racing.
Okay, okay,
So
nice.
those were my only reference. And I don't think we'll consider Fast and Furious versions as F1.
Yeah, probably not.
It's just racing. So
Yeah,
yeah, those were my only references. I never understood, honestly, I've never understood how people watch sports. Like
right.
that's something like I feel like I would rather go out and play if I have an
Yeah.
opportunity to play than watch.
Mm.
Like I've never been able to watch sports, but of course, if there's a good match going, yeah,
Yes.
because it's a different experience. And I think even in Europe when we were watching like football matches together, it's a
Mm.
different experience. It's just everyone goes and watches it together. So it's like
Right. It's
event.
a very cultural thing as well to a
Yeah.
certain extent. It's also, I guess, a matter of how much do you really get the sport, like I also never saw any never followed any sport actually throughout my childhood or even now, apart from starting now. There weren't any sport that I followed because I didn't get any sport. Like I would watch cricket and I like know like, oh yeah, cool, I know the rules of cricket and everything, but I never really like got cricket the same way others did. Like they would talk about, oh, in swing, oh, why did he do that, like in swing or some drive. There are technicalities to a sport that and nuances to any sport that you need to understand to be a fan of it, which I never really understood. So if any of these physical sports I couldn't follow the same way as intensely as anyone else because there were certain, maybe just like technicalities or nuances to it that for me just didn't make sense, and I couldn't just like get it. It didn't really make sense to me that much. And I think the only one till now, I guess, has in that way sort of clicked and gone, oh, I kind of get the sport is F1. And maybe now, like when you were saying, this is literally in the last week, I was thinking about how I've also never been like a fan of any sport or never followed any sport. But F1 is now probably the only one that I'm actually like following where I sort of understand what following a sport means now. Like I never know what it is, but now I know what it means to like follow a certain sport because you go through an evolution with that sport. It's a story. It's like another story that is living out somewhere in the world. There are different characters, new players keep coming in, they keep changing. There are different eras, and there are different kind of the style of how a sport is played. Every once in a while, there comes a new player who changes the sport in a certain way. And for fans, it's a really great thing to see because they're going through like a transition period in something that they like, right? Sport is essentially something that grows and evolves because it's based on human beings. Like, so ultimately, it's like it's something about evolution, and people sort of like it as well. That it's something that it is growing and living and breathing, and they can witness it in front of them now. That's like a big appeal of sport. That's what I'm understanding, at least through F1, because it even in these aspects I'm liking a lot. I'm seeing that things are changing, and I'm there for the change. No, it makes me feel like I'm part of something. Weirdly, when you follow something that intently, it's like you're also growing along with the sport and learning something new. So it's a nice, it's ultimately fandom, I guess, being a fan of something long term, right?
Yeah,
You have your own community.
I think I would maybe watch it and see how I feel about it. It's very interesting. Also, like I do notice that F1 always gets like very fancy sponsors. Like it's
Dude, they have the fanciest of sponsors.
yeah.
They are the fanciest because they need that kind of money. The amount of like technology and the amount of engineering that goes into these cars and their research, it's actually insane.
My one of my friends used to work with Heineken
Hmm.
in Netherlands, and they were sponsoring one of the players. I don't like one of the drivers. I don't remember names, but I remember
Hmm.
like there were so many laws to consider.
Hmm.
And then they had to like think about a way how they could sponsor it without bringing the Heineken label also in it. So
Hmm.
she worked as a lawyer for Heineken, so they were figuring out it.
Hmm.
Even then, it was very interesting to hear that like people were so into it. I
Yeah.
didn't realize. Even I think Netherlands also has a track, and every
Hmm.
weekend there are races that happen here.
Yes, yes.
There are days like times of the year where train stations are completely blocked because everyone's heading to those tracks to watch.
Yeah, because the current like reigning world champion in F1 is Dutch, Max Verstappen. He's Dutch,
Oh,
and
it's
he's been the champion for the past 4 years
okay.
in a row. And like according to a lot of people, he's like the greatest of all time. He's like Michael Jordan of basketball, like of F1 basically. Of course, it's a debate, but a lot of people are huge fans of him, and they're like, "Bro, this is like it's the second coming of Christ in F1." Like, so, and obviously, national pride is crazy. There is a Dutch Grand Prix because, of course, there is. Dude, it's mad. He has won it the past 2 3 years, I think, and it's packed like anything because obviously the entire country is going to come out to support your boy.
Yeah, and I know that those were the days like you should not go out like unless you're going there, because if you're going in that direction at that time,
Hmm.
all train routes, all stations in that direction are blocked. It's just
Wow,
so many
really?
people, so many people. So now I understand why it was such a big thing in Netherlands. Thank you for
Shit, I
giving me
didn't even know
context.
that. Yeah, but that makes so much sense because yeah, Verstappen is like he's like a national hero, and Dutch Grand Prix obviously everyone would go, and it's Europe crazy.
It's so interesting to get context from you. when I'm no longer living there. And it makes sense that I did like observe things about
Hmm.
why people were acting this way. Like I didn't understand
Right.
what they were, but I noticed that people were acting this way. And now that you put things in picture, like
Yes.
it's the puzzle pieces, and I understand why it was such a big deal.
Well, I'm glad that like me obsessing over a sport solved your traffic questions.
Oh, and just the craze. It makes sense. Like if the main like winning player was from India, of course India would be
Hmm.
crazy about the sport too. So
Yeah, obviously. There's one guy in F2 or F3, I think, one Indian, but it's not as big. But yeah, if you become like a world class player in any sport, India is just like, yeah, India is everything. There will be one race in India, and a shit ton of people will go to it for sure. So yeah, the sport is good, especially in Europe. It's huge. It was always huge because it started there. So it's huge there, and I think motorsports in general is maybe slightly a lot more popular in the Europe compared to anywhere else.
I feel like Europeans just have a lot more time for sports.
They do, man. They have so
Just like
much time for sports.
they play everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of time. That's so cool to hear, like some random traffic story about what happens because of the Dutch Grand Prix. Because I'm just watching it on TV, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it would create a lot of logistical problems in a place that is already pretty small and not a lot of people are there. So like maybe half, or like a lot of people in the country are coming to this race.
And as far as I remember, the track isn't in a big city. Like it's in a
It
small
isn't,
town.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
uh yeah, I think they run extra trains too that day.
Mm, that's pretty cool.
Ends.
Nice. At least they're supporting.
That was nice to also see, like in India, like during Coldplay, they were running extra trains. Like they did think about it. Usually
Oh,
they,
really? That's nice.
yeah,
That's nice. Yeah, I think these kind of things should be there because if not, it will create a lot of chaos. And like obviously, governments should know this. That like there can obviously there can be a private event that is so huge, especially in today's age with how connected everything is. 100% there will be an event that is huge, and you need to create some kind of better access to this, or else it's going to be a lot more chaos that ultimately you have to deal with.
that's the thing with I like again with like Taylor Swift going from city country to country.
Mm,
Every country was prepping for the crowd that was coming in. So
mm, mm,
extra trains, extra like pop-up set up all across the like it was like
mm.
not like an Olympics like but a sport happening. Like there were things set up all around
Right.
the
It's
uh,
basically a lot of logistics.
yeah.
It's a
And
lot of logistics.
apparently Singapore paid her team extra money so she wouldn't play anywhere in Asia. So,
Wow.
but she did play in I think Korea or Japan. I don't
Mm.
remember. I think Japan.
Did she do India?
No,
Oh,
no.
she didn't. No. No, damn. Yeah.
I think she would have if possible, but
Yeah,
Singapore
I think
paid a lot
has
of
a
money.
has a huge crowd in India.
She does.
I mean, Coldplay had such a big crowd, and everyone came through, right? That's crazy numbers. So
Coldplay has a mix. Like I think there would be equal amount of men and women going for the show.
yeah, yeah,
But
probably
Taylor
yes.
Swift would have a lot of kids also going in. So, and then
True,
we
true.
had
Yeah.
we every show I went to had dads who would bring a lot of kids to like carpool and bring a lot of girls together, and then they would be
Mm.
standing uh, behind near the bar or at the back. Or and you there are videos of like dads just standing in a line just them standing, looking at their children, doing things and
Mm.
waiting when it would get over and they would be able to take them back.
That's adorable. That's adorable.
Very nice.
Taylor
Maybe I
Swift
will
concert, man.
watch a season and then get back to you about how I feel about it.
I think you should. Yeah, because it's Drive to Survive, the show is extremely accessible. Just pop in season one. You need to know nothing about the sport. No, nothing. Everything will be explained to you.
I was sold when you said there's drama. I don't
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a
I
lot of
would like
drama.
to
There's a
watch.
lot of drama. Yeah,
Yeah, it's nice.
yeah.
Plus, it will
There's a
give
lot
me
of
more
drama. It's nice.
context about things.
Yeah. And
So,
the thing is, every team has two drivers, two cars are there. Okay. So a lot of the time, and both drivers gets points if they finish higher. So like not only are they battling everyone else, they're also battling their teammate in a certain way. Okay. So
mm,
there's always in every team, between the two drivers who are supposed to be teammates, there's like some hidden drama that always goes on that like, no, I'm the better driver, I'm the better driver. So it's always so compelling that like, oh, you're on the same team and you're working for the team, but you're also fighting for yourself, you know.
yeah,
So your teammate is your enemy. More than anyone else, he's your actual enemy because you're in the same car. So if you're faster than him, you're actually better than him. It's a way. It's like a way to make a point that like I'm here to be the best. So there's good drama. You will enjoy it.
yeah. Mm.
So yeah, that was about my hyperfixation
Very interesting.
currently going on. It's the next phase, dude. The older I'm getting, and the more of these phases of like being obsessed with one particular thing is going on. I'm legit able to like, if you take a period of my life, I can say that, oh yeah, during this time I was obsessed with this one particular topic that I have never gone to again. So that's piling up. Now I know what I was into last year. Now I know what was happening last year, just based on like what I was interested in.
I think I haven't had a hyperfixation in a while,
Hmm.
like a deep one. I've
Deep
been
one.
I've been trying to and because when you don't have hyperfixations, your day starts to get boring. Like your time is just
Hmm.
like blah. So
Hmm.
I've been trying to make this more like summer vacation, even though like
Hmm.
my life currently isn't summer vacation, but I've been trying to make it more like summer vacation. So I bought clay.
Hmm.
Like I don't think you can see it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I've been using like making stuff from clay
Nice.
during work meetings because I can just be doing my
You
own.
can just like do something, right?
Yeah. Um, and I'm trying to get back into like summer classes. So I started ukulele class in person, which is like
Hmm.
on Saturdays. So it's once a week. And I wasn't really going out at all because it's just too hot and I don't have any place to go and it's not really nice to
Hmm.
go out. So it's forcing me to go out. Um, and I'm trying to do more of those classes sort of things that puts me in a space where there are other people around and also makes me
Hmm.
go out. So
What kind of classes are these?
I honestly I've been wishing there was an adult summer camp. Like I keep getting our ads for
I
summer
think there
camps
are adult summer camps. I remember
in
I have seen something like an adult summer camp. I am pretty
in
sure it
Europe.
exists.
Yeah, in Europe and also in US they exist. I don't know if there
Hmm.
are and also like they are more like there are oh it's already 10 minutes. How?
Wait, what?
We have 10
Oh
minutes.
God, we have 10 minutes
That was
left.
fast. That was very quick. But point being, like there are day camps that like
Hmm.
summer day camps, and then there are summer
Hmm.
camps where you go away. And I
Hmm.
was looking for more those summer day camps where they like do multiple things every day, like you do
Hmm.
play stuff or you do swimming, you do camping, and just like just during the day you have multiple things planned, like Monday you
Mm-hmm.
do this, Tuesday you do that, and it's a full schedule. And I'm trying to make
Mm.
my week more like that, because
Right.
I can
Mm.
go somewhere, but I don't want to. It's too
But are you someone who prefers working off of a schedule that way, like a weekly schedule or a daily schedule of like basically an order of things to be done, or
I
are you more of a just let it happen in the natural way it happens kind of
I
person?
think it depends. I think sometimes a routine's nice, but not so
Mm.
much of a routine that I feel stuck in it.
Okay, you want to lose outline of things, and then you play around in the outline.
In a way, yes. It would be nice to have like, okay, now at least for ukulele, Saturdays are sort of ukulele day.
Right, right.
Like,
Okay.
it's not to the point. Like this hour,
I see. I get what you mean. Okay, you need in a week at least you should know that every week you're going to do this at this time, right?
or yeah, just basically something to look forward to. Is
Something to look forward to. Right,
yeah.
right.
So I'm trying to
I
find
see.
more things that I could do, but I keep getting ads for
Mm.
enroll your child into like summer camp, and their
Mm.
activities are also fun. So I'm taking ideas from them about things that
Okay, that's nice.
I also got.
Yeah, yeah.
I also got like a drawing book because I
Mm.
want to.
Mm.
I haven't had a drawing book in a very very long time, so like
Nice,
I think
nice.
probably the first thing I would make would be the mountain, the sun, and the
The
river.
mountain, yeah, and then painted.
Yeah, yeah.
Sun, long spoke, short spoke, long spoke, short spoke.
So that's all I can do for now.
Mm. One house should be there, one single door. And from the door, immediately one road will start. It'll go to the river.
Yes.
Yeah, extremely innovative that where everyone will do the same thing. Uh,
I
Crazy, how does it even happen? How does everyone end up doing like the same thing?
I
Like
think
where did it just start?
yeah, I think there's a special by someone on this. I think it was Biswa or someone who spoke about it, about saying that there's a national drawing that
Hmm.
you
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes. I remember it now. Yes, there was a
yeah,
stand. Oh my God, this is an old stand-up set. It's like some 6, 7 years ago. Oh yeah, 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 correct. Okay, that's why I remember it so well. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, drawing is fun. I also used to have drawing phases here and there. I think last time I had it was just before I came to the US, I think. I also went and got a drawing book like you. I was really like, I was so frustrated about something. Okay, and then I went to the supermarket to get some groceries. And I wanted to grab a pen, so I went up and I was like, "Oh, this like drawing book looks cool. It would be nice if I sat and draw, like just draw something. It'd be fun." So I got it, and I would sit and draw. I loved drawing actually. I used to do it a lot when I was a kid. I had like 3, 4 like drawing books, and I would like write and label everything and everything.
I didn't like it as a kid. It was too forced. So
Hmm. Okay. It was not forced enough for me. That's why I liked it. Because I actually liked drawing in my school, but they would never do it, man. And these drawing teachers would give their classes to someone else who wants to finish like actual curriculum and all of whatever. I'm like, bro, what the hell? Why do we have this drawing period then? I used to be so excited and I would get my drawing book and all, and they wouldn't do shit. So, and because of that, I realized I actually like it. So I ended up doing it at home all the time. And I had one other friend who would do it as well. So both of us would like show each other every day what we did and like look at our drawings and stuff.
I don't, wow, for us it was very serious. I remember at one point, one of the art teachers, he got like a
Hmm.
face statue of a Buddha and kept it
Uh,
and told us to make it.
Dude, that is so cool. I always wanted stuff like this in my school, but because I would see it on TV and movies and all, but never was there.
I somehow like I was terrible at it. I finished it like after one or two classes, I worked very
Hmm.
hard and I finished it. And went to him. I was like, I've done it. I've finally done it. And then
Yeah.
found the Buddha's face, and he's like, now draw from this angle. I
Oh
was
my
like, I
God.
just finished it.
This is like he's giving you life lessons at the same time as learning art.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, no, a completely opposite story for me. When I watched Tare Zameen Par and I like saw Amir Khan as an art teacher, no, dude, I was like, there's no way this has to be fictional. I thought, because like this, I've never seen someone like this. I can't believe that this person exists. There's no way like such a cool art teacher can exist and like do all this stuff and like you have a whole day for art. It was fascinating for me. I wish I had it.
We had it in school, like one of the schools I went to,
Mm,
told us to make something on a specific theme, and all the ones they liked, the school gave
mm,
us like canvases to take home
mm,
and gave us
mm,
paint and told us to paint
mm,
the same thing on a canvas and then they put it around the building. I don't know where it
mm,
went now. It's probably somewhere in storage or they probably sold it. So,
mm,
but that was one of the schools I went to that did that. But the other one I went to, I remember I got slapped by an art teacher because I couldn't make a tree
mm,
right. And now I'm
mm.
obsessed. Like every time I make something, I make the tree because now I know how to make a tree. And it's stuck, trauma is stuck that I constantly am just making trees.
Some teachers influence you permanently. They do permanent damage.
It was, I was like, I never understood why would you slap a child for not being able to
Dude,
make a
bro,
tree.
anytime it's horrible. I hated it. Yeah. No, slapping a child just it seems cruel, man. How could like now as an adult when I think about it, and I'm like, oh, the teachers were my age, like where I am now. My teachers
Yeah.
were this age, right? 27, 28 they were. And they were slapping the shit out of these kids. I'm like, bro, how inhumane do you have to be? Like that's very cruel.
Yeah.
I get that it's part of like maybe culture and they're used to it and they're okay doing it. But man, it does not feel right to do that. It's terrifying.
We have 2 minutes left.
Well, yeah, half of this podcast I took up, sorry, because I was talking too much about F1. I think this half of this podcast is going to be me talking. So, yeah,
But you
you
have
can
a
just skip it.
hyperfixation. So next time I have a,
Yeah, I can't help it.
but that's how
Yeah,
I
like,
get knowledge. Like that's how knowledge exchange
yes.
happens.
Correct. This is correct. This is exactly how it is, dude. I have become so completely antisocial in the past year. I think, where like I truly have stopped talking to people that much. I think I should continue more.
Maybe you
Uh,
start a podcast with them as well.
yeah, maybe I should start a podcast with them. That's the only way. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's the only way. This podcast is great, dude. It's so good because and actually just catch you're catching up, you're going to catch up because you want to keep doing this, right? It's great. Okay, I love this, I love this platform. And the other day we were sitting here on my girlfriend Dia's YouTube channel. She got a notification of one of our podcasts and she was listening, and I was wearing my noise cancelling headphones, okay, and like I paused the thing that I was watching, and suddenly I heard my voice again, and I was like, Anushka, like, wait, what the fuck? Where is Anushka? What is going on? I thought I'm going crazy. And then I looked at the TV and I'm like, oh shit, she's playing. Yeah. So podcast is nice. I like it. I'll start a podcast with
It
everyone.
also.
Mm.
We've posted
One day it's going to become a hit, okay? I'm telling you. One
I
day.
also like it's I feel like it's like we're not like the people aren't ready for it yet. Like
Yes, exactly. We're that. We're a YouTube channel where like, oh yeah, bro, they uploaded for 5 years dedicatedly, and now they have a fan base. And we're like, oh, at no point were we working towards a fan base.
we will.
Yeah, we live in a Delulu land. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have 15 seconds. This is actually a very well-timed podcast. We can exactly time it and say bye and not get interrupted. Last time we got interrupted.
Okay, bye.
Bye.